Good morning, folks. I think we're going to get underway here. So I'd like to start by welcoming all of you and thanking you for being here, and also congratulating you. There was a list of applicants, and you all were selected from that list, so that is worthy of praise. I want to first of all introduce myself. My name is Brent Foster, and some of you may have received an email from me or my colleague Jeff Brody, who I'm also introducing. Most of you have met Jeff or myself. We saw many of you and enjoyed your company last night. I'd also like to introduce a couple of the people you'll see throughout the conference working, some of them very important. For example, Susan Cobo, who is in the back right there, raise your hand. She's very important because she's going to be handing out some swag to you here in a second. Also is going to be asking you for signatures on things. If you have receipts and things, Susanna's going to be the person that you're going to want to take those to. I know you were asking Alan about that last night. That's the girl that I was talking about. So she'll take care of you in that capacity, and we're going to try to get you reimbursed as quickly as possible. I also want to introduce, we are putting these the workshops online as we get them recorded, and so I have a couple of former students that are here. Brandon Uri is right here. Brandon, raise your hand. He'll be working the camera. And Carmina Landicho, who's also running the camera now, they're here and can help you also. I mean, they're natives to Southern California. If you have questions, feel free to ask them. So as I'm sort of, again, congratulating you, Susanna, if you want, and maybe Brandon could help pass out some of these nice little notebooks, which I think is sort of humorous because here we are talking about covering social protests, largely with the idea of using social media, and we're handing out pen and paper. I don't know if anybody else sees the irony there, but we couldn't afford to hand out iPads to everyone, so thank you. Appreciate the laugh. All right, wake up, everybody. It's okay. We're all going to be friends here before long. Speaking of that, as we look around the room, and pretty soon we're going to go around and kind of introduce ourselves. Not everybody is from Southern California, including myself. I moved here 5 years ago, but I thought it would be important to share something very important with those of you not from Southern California. In fact, what's your name again, from Connecticut? Ben was telling me he's admiring the palm trees, and one thing you need to know, Ben, and others that aren't from here, is that it's been incredibly hot for the last month and dry. And in the last 5 years of living here, I'm from Missouri, I noticed that when it's hot and dry in Southern California, there are earthquakes. And here's the warning, folks. The first earthquake I experienced, I was at home, my kids were with me, the fish tank water shot out of the bowl. My kids went zink like a magnet to my legs, and then I ran like bloody murder out to the middle of the street. I've later found that that's not what we're supposed to do, and so we're actually supposed to jump under sturdy furniture. So I just wanted to let everybody know, Ben and others, that if the ground starts to shake, although instinctually I will still run for the courtyard, we're actually supposed to, tuck under. Now, the second part of that is you're all journalists, and so because of that, I'll anticipate that each of you will be recording it on your smartphone. You will need to have that uploaded within 38 seconds. I want a full 200-word story written on that and published. And let's go ahead and get some video on that as well, maybe interview some sources. So it's all right. If you think it's funny, you can laugh. I wasn't trying to be super serious. One thing I am serious, though, about, and that is that we want to express our greatest thanks to the McCormick Foundation and the Poynter Institute. You understand that the reception last night, the meals, the hotel stay, the accommodations. Tonight we're having a great dinner at a place called the Summit House that is a place that in 5 years I've never been able to go eat at because I don't have that kind of money, but we're going to be taking you all there, having a wonderful dinner. Again, the meals and things, all supported by the grant that Professor Brody and I wrote together in cooperation with the OC Press Club. That amount was $41,000, and that is the money that we use to pay for all of your travel and all of the expenses. And so we will continue to express our thanks to the McCormick Foundation and the Poynter Institute throughout this entire time, and that is an important part of that we constantly remember, that this wouldn't be possible without them. I also want to take a moment to express to you the sort of mission and goals of this whole thing. It's called a Specialized Reporter Institute, and we don't want this to just be sessions of somebody up here talking about, in a prima donna way, about how great they are. We want these to be workshops. We want you to sort of think of this experience as you came in with a toolbox of your own tools, and you're going to add tools to that to be able to leave here on Saturday with a whole bunch of fresh tools to go back to your stations, your newspapers, your radio, television outlets, and utilize. And that is an important component here, that this needs to be Q&A, and you need to dig deep on these people and ask the important questions. And I think if you look at our lineup, you will be very appreciative of the people we have. I know that I am really looking forward to some of these presentations. We've got just a crack group of people that are here to speak with you over the next few days. Also, just so you know, there will be a survey on Saturday at the end that is an opportunity for you to sort of rank how we did or how the Institute went for you. If for some reason, I know Alan, maybe you're going to leave early, and some others have talked to me about maybe having to scoot out a little before, come talk to us. Susanna will be available. If you want to, we really want your feedback, so we want to make sure that we get that survey in your hands, even if you're going to leave early. We'd prefer everybody take it at the end, but clearly if you need to leave early, that makes sense, and we want you to still have that opportunity to rate us. Okay? Last thing is that there's a couple of things. One, as I see many of you have your laptops and computers and your iPads and other devices, we do have high-speed wireless Wi-Fi in here. And I believe there's no code. You just click on the Marriott Fullerton and you're there. Okay? Is that the case for?
Yes, I have a question. Is it possible we can get like an extension cord so someone can connect it?
Let me talk to the guys and see if I can't get some kind of a, yeah, exactly. We need some kind of maybe a, we may need to get a multi-plug sort of outlet as well, but by all means, plug in if you can find a spot open. And lastly, also, we do have a hashtag, which that's kind of a new word to me, and that may seem embarrassing. Some of you are like, oh my gosh, you don't know what that means. Well, it sounds like a drug reference to me, but I apparently hashtag covering social protests is the Twitter availability that you can tweet about this. Only good things, though, you understand. So. All right, without further ado then, what we are going to do and it may seem cumbersome or laborious, and I don't want it to be, but we really do need to sort of get to know one another. You know, Jeff and I are teachers, and I know some of you in here are teachers also, that you teach either on the side or along with your job. And as teachers, I have found that when I have a group of 20 students, the sooner I can build synergy with the group, the sooner I can let everybody kind of feel connected and know one another, the more impactful the sessions will be. And so I'm very interested in having an opportunity to go around the horseshoe here and allow you to introduce yourselves. You can tell us your name clearly, where you're from, and where you're working, and any other little details, maybe your earthquake experience, I don't know. so that we can kind of get to know one another. Let's face it, by tomorrow and after dinner tonight, I think we're all going to be, I hope we'll be close and we'll stay in touch and use this as a networking tool as well.